Hello everyone, thanks for coming in tonight. Happy Sunday. Thanks replay viewers for watching, and thank you YouTube viewers for coming in as well. YouTube viewers, if you'd like to watch live on Periscope and join in the chat, just go to Periscope on your, download the app to your phone and search for Penguin and Fish. I'm here every night at 9:30 p.m. Central. Alright guys, I am starting a new block tonight. Block 57 of the Splendid Sampler quilt along, a nice little pieced block. I'm going to flip you around and we'll get going tonight. Hey guys, thanks so much for coming in. So we are starting block 57 of the Splendid Sampler. Cute little pieced block, lots of little squares with little rectangle borders. I think it's going to be fun. We're going to make it with a lot of different fabrics, I think, but I think I'm going to play with the lights and the darks, so I'll show you that in a little bit. If you want more info it's thesplendidsampler.com. And it's a free year-long quilt along, and it's a mystery quilt along, so we get new blocks every Thursday and Sunday. So it's new block day today, which is always fun. We get to play with something new. And again, that's thesplendidsampler.com. And if you're new here tonight, my name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we make lovely and quirky hand embroidery patterns and kits. I'm the author of Sew and Stitch Embroidery and a fabric designer, and I'm here every night at 9:30 p.m. Central. So we've been really working through the Splendid Sampler since February, and it's going to go till this coming February, March, I think. But yeah, so we're about halfway done. There's plenty of time to jump in, and you can just download what you want for free and play around with us. So, alright guys, I'm going to flip you around and we'll get going. I'd like to get as far as I can on this tonight. I think this might be one that we finish in just a couple days. That's my hope at least, because then we can go back to some other blocks and work on some of the unfinished blocks like we did yesterday, which was pretty fun. So, alright guys, I'm going to flip you around and we'll get going. And just so you know, all these are being recorded, and after tonight, you'll be able to watch them on YouTube at Penguin and Fish Movies, in case you have to head out or anything like that. So, alright, this is a Starting Point by Lissa Alexander, and it's cute. It's got all these little 1.5-inch squares. I think they're actually going to end up as 1-inch squares once we sew them. And she has them as light fabrics and dark fabrics, and that's what I'm going to do. So we're going to have like this light colored X through here, and then dark colored little rectangles. So this is kind of what I'm thinking for colors. I just grabbed some of my lights and I grabbed some of my darks, and I think we're going to just mix them up. So the first thing is we need 12 1.5-inch squares of the lights. And what's going to be really fun is that once we have all those squares, we can just lay them out however we think would be really cute. So I'm kind of excited about that. I'm excited about cutting up all these pieces and then rearranging them, how they're pretty fun. And then I have these for the dark. And, you know, you could use the same light color and the same dark color for the whole thing, or you could use different fabrics for the whole deal. I just thought I'd do 4 and 4. And so I'll for these 4 big rectangles, I'll do 1 of each, and then for these small rectangles, I'll do 1 of each of these darks. I think that's my plan. So I'm going to start we'll start with the lights. We have to cut 12 squares of these, so I'm going to spray them with some starch, just because that'll give it some heft. Especially this one. This one's pretty gauzy. You might be able to even see through it a little bit. So this one's definitely going to need some starch just to make it kind of the same thickness almost as these other guys here. But yeah, so we'll start by spraying and pressing those, and then we'll move on to these darks. Unfortunately, I don't really, I'm going to need 3 1.5-inch squares from each of these, and I don't think I have scraps that are big enough. I mean, I could go through my scraps and cut a bunch of lights from a whole pile of different ones, but I just, you know what, let's just check. Maybe I do have enough lights for that. I'm kind of thinking I don't have enough big enough. Like they're all kind of smaller. Like this isn't quite 1.5. Yeah, I mean, I just think I don't. This might be one. Nah, this won't be 1.5 yet either. This might be 1.5, but I would need 3. I just don't think I have enough. And you know what? I'm pretty confident that I'm going to use all these up yet for like paper piecing and some of these other blocks that we have. So I'm not going to worry too much about it. Mine's just not going to be as scrappy as it could be. It's, you know, we're planning this one out instead of being scrappy. That's okay though. I like the idea of using up my scraps, but you know, sometimes these are actually kind of scraps too that I'd like to use up. So I'm just going to, let's spray this edge. This is a nice edge that we can use. All right, I'm going to tilt you upwards. I just really still love this fabric. It just reads as gray, but it's white and black. I just think it's so pretty. All right, so I'm using my best press again, and I have about, it's about 80% of this flatter, just because it smells good, I think, and the rest is this best press, which is gives it more of a stiffness than the flatter brand. And I didn't start using starch till I started the Splendid Sampler, about like, you know, halfway through what we've done so far with the Splendid Sampler. Just because I'm like, do we really need it or anything like that? I do think it gives a little bit of stiffness to it, and with these small squares, like these squares are just 1.5 inches or so. I mean, small squares like that, it's become pretty helpful. And especially this one, like this one has a different, this one is a lot gauzier than my other fabrics, so this one for sure, just to bring it to the same thickness as my other fabrics, it's kind of nice. And you know what? It smells good. So I'm convinced. I'm using it. I think if I had larger pieces, like if I was doing a quilt where, you know, all the blocks were like, you know, I don't know, 4 inches and bigger, then I don't think I would bother with the starch, unless I had, you know, unless again, like I had a gauzy fabric that I was trying to match with a thicker fabric. I don't know. But since I started using it, I just kind of have kept using it. It's kind of nice. It smells good. Man, I love this fabric too. I'm breaking in all my fabrics that I was too scared to use before. Oh, you buy best press by the gallon. There you go. See, now we're talking. Who knows? Maybe I'll have to start doing that too. Now that I'm like converted to, I think we'll get it from right here. Since I'm converted to the, oh wait, no, I think I only need like, so I need 12 of these, and I have 4 pieces of fabric, so I only need to cut 3 pieces, and they're 1.5 inch squares. So 1, 2, 3, 4.5. So I only need 4.5 inches worth, and I think I got, yeah, that's plenty. Whew, math at night, that's tough for me. Yeah, so it comes in different scents. I just got the scent-free one, and then I had some of that flatter, and I just mixed some of that with it, and that flatter just is so yummy smelling. And that's by Soak is the brand. But the flatter starch, which is the Soak brand, it doesn't give the stiffness like the Best Press does, and you know, that's kind of the whole point. So, I don't know. I've been kind of converted to the Best Press. You get the unscented? Yeah, that's what I have too. All right, this is a bigger piece of fabric. This is one of those unruly pieces of fabric. I think. Let's see, where can we get a good edge? Let's go right here. We're going to trim this off and go here. You can make your own spray starch. Ooh, 10% vodka and 11% water. Oh, that's interesting. So my mom makes a ironing water. So the water that she puts in her iron is something like that. It's like it's like a percentage of vodka, like cheap vodka specifically for some reason, I don't know, and water, like distilled water, and then a little bit of lavender essence oil, I think. And that's what she puts in her iron, and it smells so good whenever she irons anything. It's kind of neat. She has the recipe printed right on a container, like right on a pitcher, so that she always has the recipe when she needs to make more of it. I thought that was pretty clever. All right, so here are our pieces. Let's just scooch back here. So I just stacked them. These ones, I have the edges real close here. That's probably easier to see. I'm going to need to scooch over here, I think, to get my iron in here. And then, let's see, I think this little piece, I'm going to just plop down here. So I need 12 1.5-inch squares, which means I have 4 fabrics, so I only need 3. And what did we say? That was 4.5 inches? 3, 4, yeah, 4.5 inches. So that's all I really need to do. I think I'm going to just use this ruler for that. So to start out, I'm just going to square these guys up. What do I have down here? Is this? Oh, good. That goes all the way to the end. So here we go. We're going to go right here. I think we got them all in. And 1.5 inches is all we need to do. So let's just go here. And then 4.5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the half is there. Okay. Out here, little pieces. One, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we are plenty good there. And now I think I'm going to just grab an additional ruler. Let's just grab this one. Since I don't really want to move, like I would in theory have to rotate this 180 degrees, and then this would be my squared piece, and I'd go from there. But instead of doing that, I'm just going to line up another ruler at 1.5 inches. And then just cut this again at 1.5 inches. Man, I got a distinct feeling that I did not measure that right. Okay, but I did. Okay, good. I always get nervous. See, this is why I like paper piecing, because I don't have to deal with any of this measuring, and you know, because this just freaks me out. I always get in the middle of the cut, and then I'm like, oh my god, did I do it right? And then I'm just gonna slice this off. We're gonna square it up there. Oops, I don't think I got all of it there. Come on, there we go. All right, oops, get rid of these. Yeah, I know, just blobs, that's always fun. Yay, I gotta get rid of all of this fabric right away. I love when I can just move my fabric, have it out of my hair. All right, so I need 3 1.5-inch squares from here, so I still have them all lined up. So let's just grab the ruler here and do some 1.5 bits. Ooh, I kind of feel like this is going quick already. That makes me happy. 1. Man, I second-guessed myself there again, too. It's just funny. I don't know. It's something funny. Always nervous I'm going to measure wrong and cut wrong. All right, there we are. So here are our 12 squares, and they're so cute out of these different fabrics. I'm really excited about these, actually, kind of quite a bit. So I'm going to just throw them all in a stack here and get them out of our way for now. So let's move on to the darks. We're cruising through this cutting, I think. All right, so we got the B blocks, rectangles, and then the C rectangles, which are larger. So what we can do, since we're going to cut 4 of each, and, you know, so we're going to cut 1 of each fabric for each of these. We can, since they're all 1.5 inches wide, we can just do one strip that's, let's see, 7 inches, probably a little bit more, so we can cross cut 7 inches, and then cut both our pieces out of the same 1.5 inch strip. So that's what we're going to go for. So I need a 1.5 inch by at least 7 inches for my measurement here. So let's do the same thing. We'll starch and press this fabric. I'm going to start with this one just because this is that fabric that I have like a yard here, and it's so kind of unruly just because it's just such a big piece. Okay, let's find a good 7 inch area. Wow, I got all this choppy stuff up here. Let's see, what else do we got down here? You know what? I think I'm just gonna go, since we have like this whole big cut out of here, I think I'm just gonna go straight up from the selvage edge here. We probably don't need to starch this. It seems really flat already, but I'm gonna do it anyway, just for fun. It's that, it's that perfectionism coming through a little bit. Like, I don't need to starch or spray or press this one, but I'm doing it anyway, you know. Oh, you like this one? This one's actually my fabric. So I didn't actually use a lot of my fabric in the Splendid Sampler just because I was going kind of for this more modern blue quilt. And my stuff is a lot, whoa, I just almost dropped the iron on the floor. My fabric that I make is more like cute animals and that sort of thing. I do have it, fat quarters of it within the group of the rest of this collection. So you can get this with this in the lighter blue. I do have it as fat quarters, but it's bundled with other fabric. But yeah, you could just, if you search for, the collection name is Serengeti Beasties, which is just kind of silly. It's an African-themed pattern. So Serengeti Beasties, and if you want yardage, you could just Google that, and a combination of that plus Penguin and Fish, or Alyssa Thomas, or Clothworks. Cloth and then Works, which is the company that prints it. A combination of that, and you'll probably find someone who sells it. If you wanted yardage, or if you just only wanted this pattern versus the bundles. Oh no, the kitty fabric is the blue kitty fabric that we've been using for the Splendid Sampler. That's actually by Sharon Holland for Art Gallery Fabrics, and that's new. That's just coming out. But no, I did some kitty fabric a couple of years ago, and that unfortunately is a little hard to find now, but you can search for that. It's called Here Kitty Kitty. Some of that exists out there in the world yet. It's so crazy. The collections just go so quick these days. Like fabric manufacturers, this is plenty. Fabric manufacturers just they print it and they don't make any more of it. So it's like 6 months that it's out there, and then it's hard to find. Basically, the fabric industry has turned a lot into like the fashion industry, where it's just quick design turnarounds, and it's there and then it's gone, sort of thing. Which is I don't know if that's a good thing or not. But yeah, it makes it hard to find fabric. Or if you started a project and you ran out of fabric for your project, let's say, like you started a big quilt and you ran out of fabric, sometimes it can be a little tough finding that fabric. All right, I got 2 more here to go. This is just so pretty. Yeah, unfortunately, since the Periscope update, let's go this side. The camera flips more than it used to, and I kind of can't control it, so it's a huge bummer. If you watch the replay of this on YouTube, it will be fine. And actually, the replays, again, it's at Penguin and Fish Movies on YouTube. If the replays are like high definition, pretty much, and they're much more clear, and you can see what's happening a lot better than the Periscope feed usually. So yeah, and it won't flip. It won't do this weird flip thing either. So I kind of recommend the YouTube replays versus where did I just start this whole side? Versus the Periscope replays. All right, ooh, one more. This one's pretty cool too. You know what? I'm so in love with the fabrics that I picked for the Splendid Sampler. I mean, these are, I keep saying this, but these are all the fabrics that, I don't think this is 7 inches. We're gonna cut it from here. These are all the fabrics that were hanging out in my office, or most of these fabrics, like this one, for example, which is just so cool. These fabrics were hanging out in my office as fat quarters, and I just couldn't even bear to untie the fat quarter bundle. So this was a bundle, you know, tied with a pretty bow and stuff, and I could not even undo that bow because it was just too pretty, right? It was too pretty as a bundle stacked on my shelf. And, you know, I started to do this like life-changing magic of tidying up book. I don't know if you guys have heard of that book, but I've talked about it a little bit. So I've been trying to like just use my things and have joy like using the things that I've been collecting and stuff. And I'm like, you know what? I have to do that. Oh, there's some Here Kitty Kitty at Creative Quilt Kits. Oh, that's cool. That's exciting. Yeah, Here Kitty Kitty specifically is pretty hard to find sometimes, especially the bits with the cat in. Oh yeah, I showed, oh, I don't have that anymore. I had a little quilt with some of the Here Kitty Kitty on. But yeah, that's not always the easiest to find. Okay, so I need 7 inches from this. So we're gonna need to square up our bottom for sure. So let's start with there. So I need 1.5 inches. You guys are kind of off screen, but I'm gonna just cut quick. Oh, you know what? I did that kind of silly. Oh well. So I cut my straight edge there, but I need to make sure that I keep that straight edge now. All right, so I need at least 7 inches, so that's right here. So I'm gonna just cut it at 8-ish, a little below 8. And I'm gonna have to cut this edge again, so I'm not gonna worry about if it's square or not. I'm just gonna veer off here so I can get rid of all these. So I have these rubber bottoms. I know I've been mentioning them, but I have like these little rubber circles on the bottom of my rulers, and holy cow, has that made a huge difference in my confidence as a person who cuts fabric. Because I haven't had anything else, oops, let's flip it this way, so the rubber stoppers are down, but I haven't had anything else not move my fabric around as much. Like I've tried those things with the handle where you hold your ruler down and you're putting the right pressure on, but these rubber stoppers, like I can't, I'm really moving these and they're just not going anywhere. That again is still one of my biggest things that I hadn't known about before the Splendid Sampler that I just have fallen in love with. I love these rulers. I think some of these rulers I just had and I'm kind of using them for the first time with the Splendid Sampler. All right, 1.5 inches. They're called True Grip, and I think I just got them from Amazon. I'll have a link to them on my YouTube page when I'm done here, but I don't think I have the packaging here anymore either. Oh yeah, I do. Here's what it looks like. They're these. They're True Grips, and it is by the Grace Company. So you can probably just Google that, or search for it on Amazon, and they're see-through as well. But I'm just so in love with them. But yeah, and I'll have a link to it on my YouTube page too. That's probably the easiest way to do it. All right, there we go. There's our 7. Yeah, it will raise your ruler a little bit. I don't know if you can see here, but there is, it's like a 32nd of an inch or maybe less in thickness, but it's just, so that could get like weird in some cases, but for the most part, it's just, I mean, if you're nervous about cutting and all that, I just find them awesome. They have some with grips incorporating the ruler. Yeah, I have not used those before. I bet you they're pretty awesome too. So I'm not convinced that I squared this up. There's an anti-slip backing. You can get like a clinch sheet. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I mean, it was something I didn't know existed, and then people started recommending it when I started the Splendid Sampler, because I've been always so nervous about cutting, and I think that was the one thing, just like it slipping and stuff like that, and then people started recommending different things, and I purchased some of these, and man, I've just really loved them. Okay, so what do we need here again? Let's look at the instructions. I need a 2.5 inch and a 4.5 inch. So let's do that. Let's start with the 2.5 inch. These are smaller rectangles than I thought they'd be. 2.5. All right. But man, I still get nervous about did I measure correctly? Okay, and then 4.5. All right, there we go. Oops, that's not quite in line down here. All right, there. And again, I always turn that safety on immediately when I'm done cutting. Like I cut, turn it on. I don't want that, I don't want the safety off just laying around, because that's when you cut your fingers off, and that's no fun. So I've heard. I've never done that. That freaks me out too much. So, okay, we are done with all of our cutting already. That was so fast as far as cutting. Sometimes the cutting takes us almost the entire night, and we're only like halfway through the evening, so we can definitely get sewing. I'm going to lay this all out. We're going to just play with the layout, but it looks like we start with the center square, and we're just sewing it into a 4-patch unit, and we're pressing the seams open, which I don't usually do, but we're gonna just follow instructions. Let's just press these all open. All right, and we'll just start here. So let's lay it out. Let's get an arrangement that we kind of like. Let's just separate all these. So these are kind of like our center little bits, and here's some side ones. I'm just kind of laying them out so that the colors, the same fabrics, don't touch each other. So that might be a good arrangement here. Let's start playing with these. I think we should have 4 different guys in the middle. This one's always so difficult to know what the right and wrong side is. I don't think it matters so much. Tiny squares. That one's pretty. Okay, so then comes these guys. And then these guys go in here. I don't think we're going to fuss too much with where these things go. All I want is that I don't want the same bits to touch each other, basically. And I think since we did, we have 4, so, we did 3 of each of these, so we should be able to have like different pieces in all these, I think. It's not going to be perfect, like it's not going to be 4 of the different ones, it's going to be a mixture, so we can play with these a little bit. We could play with the direction of these too, because they're all kind of directional, so why don't we do that a little bit too. What else do we got? This one, let's throw that there. I'm just literally tossing these down and seeing what happens. Actually, I'm thinking about it a little bit, like this one is in like the 1st position, and this one's in the 2nd position, so I threw this one in the 4th position, or third position, just like, you know, center, medium, and then outward, just to play with that a little bit. Just have a couple more pieces up. So we got an issue here. So see, I got two next to each other. So let's just, how about this one? We'll switch this guy. Oh, but then we have the two here, so that doesn't work either. Let's, this one, I think I need like a, how about like this? Or like this. There we go. That works. I think we're good here. So let's just, I'll take you guys down. So this is kind of our plan, I think. I don't want to fuss with it too much. You know, let's just get her done, I think. We have one of each in each of the, like we have one of each in the center, we have one of each in this middle area, and we have one of each in the outer area. Let's turn these around. I don't like that all these are the same way here. Let's go like this. All right, I like it like that. Okay, so start from the inside. So we're gonna sew this row together, these two, and then we're gonna sew these two together, and then we'll press those, and then we'll sew all four together. So, all right, let's head over to the machine here. I have to thread it yet. It's, we were, 2 nights ago, we were stitching with the thicker 12 weight thread. So I have to put my 50 weight thread back in. Here, I can even scooch a little bit more so you can see. Oh, you still kind of can't see. There we go. A little dial, let's get that in there. It's always kind of fun threading the machine, I think. Feels like I know some secret power. Because it's like this little maze, you know what I mean, that you have to get through to thread your machine. Alright, you know what, I think I have to snip the end of this. It's kind of frayed. There we go. Oh man, I'm a little fumbly tonight. There we go. Threaded. We are ready. You know, I haven't checked lately how much is in this bobbin, so I'm hoping we're good on that front. All right, let's do this. This again, my little business card here. This is set at a quarter, my scant quarter of an inch for the seam allowance. So all I have to do is kind of butt up my pieces to there. So I'm going to just grab these, fold them together. I think we're totally going to finish this tomorrow based on how far we got with the cutting tonight. And I mean, we're going to get a lot of sewing done yet tonight. So say Sunday, if we get it done Monday, then we got 2 days to do unfinished blocks. And that would be pretty rad. I need to get ahead on some of those blocks. Oh, you know what? I knew this felt kind of funny. Oops. Oh my gosh. Sorry, guys. I don't have my my leader in here. Like, something feels weird. This is what feels weird. Okay, I don't remember what direction I had these in though now. I think like this. So I'm butting it up against that business card. And this took a while, like I had to measure that. Oh wow, you're only 3 behind? That's pretty dang good. I think I'm 12 or, no, I think the last count was 13. I think I'm 13 behind. That's kind of a lot. My mom's completely caught up, plus she's got a whole pile of bonus blocks that she did. Started way late. Oh, you're only in block 6. That is perfectly fine too. That's awesome that you jumped in though. Like, I think some people might be a little afraid to jump in at this point, but there's plenty of time left, and it's all about just doing what you can do, doing what you want to do, you know? Alright, let's get this guy in here, my ender. Let's use this guy tonight, my little stork scissors. guys, press them open. 12 behind various stages like mine. Oh, see, there we go. Oh, wow, at one point you were 25 behind, and now you only have 3 done, and you did bonus ones? Holy cow. Just started, I think I'm going to do this block. Oh, that's a great idea. So that's actually what they kind of recommend if you're just starting, is start with the current block, and then just choose from there what you want to work on. I'm just going to press this to one side just to get it going, and then I'll press it open. Several blocks partly done. Yep, that's how I am too. But yeah, I mean, I would start on the current block, and then, then that's nice because I'm always doing the current block. Like, whenever there's a new block, I always stop the block I'm working on to do the new block. So if you start with the newest block, you'll at least get a follow along with me here, which hopefully is helpful. I'm hoping this is helpful for you guys. It's helpful for me because you guys give me all the, like, tips and tricks. I'm learning, like, so much from having you guys around while I stitch through all these blocks. But yeah, and then just choose the blocks that look cool and that you really want to work on. Or if there's some technique you want to learn and you have time before the next block, just do that one. But yeah, I mean, I've gotten so much. Oh, good. I'm glad. I've gotten so much out of doing this Splendid Sampler project. Like, I keep saying that before Woo! Dang it. Ah! I just burnt myself. Before I started the Splendid Sampler, I felt okay with quilting. Like, I felt like I could get by. Like, I knew enough, and I've heard about enough, and I've tried enough things to know I can get by with quilting. But I didn't know... I wasn't confident with my sewing or quilting at all. How did I have this? I don't know, like that? That's kind of cute. I think I maybe had it this way, though. I suppose it doesn't matter. Let's do it like this. I like that these guys are opposite. So now we're ready to sew these guys together. And actually, I just stopped in the middle of my story, but I'm gonna, I think I'm, like, sold on these instead of pins. I'm gonna try using these Wonder Clips again. All right, how do I open this? In case. There we go. Oops, I think I did it upside down. There we go. But yeah, since I'm not nesting my seams, I get a little nervous about matching up these open seams. So you know what? I'm going to just throw one of these Wonder Clips on there. Let's see how that goes. Just like that. That's easier than pinning. I think this is going to be my new favorite thing, these Wonder Clips instead of pins. I hate pinning. I always stab myself. But yeah, like I just wasn't, I felt like I knew enough to, like, fake it, basically, with quilting and sewing and stuff. So I since working on the Splendid Sampler, I just feel so much more confident with sewing quilt blocks and all the different techniques. All right, so now I'm going to take this off. Let's just, I don't know if this is going to work. I need my stiletto. So I just feel so much more confident with all of this. And just, like, I have so many more, I know, so many more tips and tricks than I did before, just from, you guys telling me things, and I don't know, it's just been an awesome journey for me so far. I totally feel now like I could just be by any quilter and be like, oh yeah, I totally know what you're talking about, and here's a tip that might work, and blah, 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 whereas before I would just kind of be, pretend I know enough to stand in that same room with all the fancy quilters, Look, my fingers were red, I totally burnt it. Ah! Jerk butt. Iron. Alright, so this is pressed open again. This is my cute little 4-patch for the middle. Again, I'm going to just press it to one side. Actually, let's just see how we did on the matching. Oh, you know what? That's a pretty dang good point in the middle there. I don't think that point could be more perfect, so I think the Wonder Clip worked fabulously. I know, I'll have to throw some ice water on it a little bit after we're done here. Oh well, it's not the first time. Won't be the last. How's my tension looking? My tension looks like, I suppose it's fine. I don't know. Good enough. Poor little fingers. They've been stabbed so many times and burnt so many times. And they're always constantly working. Poor little fingers never get a rest. When I'm resting, they're doing some sort of crafting. Sewing is hard work, I know. Damaging body parts. Alright, so I'm pressing this open, again, just because that's what it says. And you're pressing open just because everything lies flatter then. You don't have a whole bunch of stuff on one side and nothing on the other for the seam allowance. It's just going to lay flatter overall, and that's why people like using it, but I don't know. I still like pressing different directions and then nesting the seams. I just think it's easier, although this turned out to be a perfect match in the center, so that makes me happy. Let's go like, no, how did I have this? Go like that. No, that's not how I had it. These have to, 3, oh, I messed up my system somehow, guys. So I don't, like, I have these guys next to each other again, but I need 3 in each thing again. How does that work? Like this. Did I totally mess that up now? No, we're right. Let's do it like this. The end, we're doing it like this. Flip one more time. Was it like this? And I had these guys here. Okay, good. That looks right again. Good call. All right, perfect. We're going right there. Oh wait, no, we have these two in the same row again. Oh, why don't we just go like this? There we go. Fine. We're doing that. I kind of liked it this way. I'm gonna switch these two. These two fabrics seem so similar. Oh wait, no, now we got these going wrong. All right. Let's just, there. We'll just flip this guy in this direction to change it up. Same here. All right, man, I gotta pay more attention, huh? Okay, three different. Okay. The end. We're staying here. Okay, let's check out what's next. Oh, I know photo really. Oh, I'm gonna keep going. So I'm just gonna have to. I'll just have to pay more attention. But yeah, that's actually a great tip. You could take a photo at each of these stages and then review it when you lay it all out again. That actually would be really helpful, especially if you're coming back at it later. But I'm gonna just wing it. We're gonna just see how it goes. Okay, now it's. I'm totally just looking at the photos. I'm not reading the instructions at all. I think we'll be fine though. It seems pretty easy. So let's. We're sewing 2 A's to a center B on the top and bottom, and then we're sewing this center area here. So I'm going to just kind of move the things that we're not dealing with away right now. All right, so we're going to sew this row together, we're going to sew this row together, and we're going to sew this row together. So what I'm going to do is probably sew all of these first, and then all of these second. Because then we'll just keep trimming. So this one we do have to pay attention to. But if we stay in order, then we should be good to go. So these two, then these two, then these two, and then this grouping to this grouping to this, and this grouping to this. So I think that's the plan. And then we will press them open. So all we have to remember, we do have to remember the order of these though, so we don't flip them around all funny. Let's just remember spot, upper left, other spot, bottom right. That's all I'm going to remember. And these will all be good. Oh, wait. We'll figure out these just by the act of having these in place. All right. I think we'll figure it out. Oh, and then I'm laughing and blowing things everywhere. Okay, let's start here. So let's fold that so the right sides are together. Turn on the machine. my little kitty scratches to match it up. Chain piece and don't cut exactly. That is the plan. Let's try and get that a little bit more. It gets so bright when I have that light on. There we go. Periscope or my phone doesn't adjust very well. So chain piecing, if you don't know that term, that's just when you sew a bunch of pieces all at once without snipping them off. So like I'm leaving this on while I do this piece, and soon we'll have a whole row of things that are all connected, like a chain. And it helps keep things in order, and it speeds up the process. Like you can stitch the same things all at once, and it just makes things go faster. You should clip them together or take a picture so you don't forget tomorrow. Yeah, I think by the time, I mean, we have like 15 minutes yet. I think we'll get this center together. And I think by having this whole centerpiece together, we're going to know automatically what the rest is going to be. I mean, I'll take a photo, though. I think that's a good idea. I'll take a photo of this before I put it all back in my binder for the evening. But I think, you know, since we had the 3 different squares in each, you know, like quadrant, the middle, or the center, the middle row, and then the outside row, I think we're going to automatically know what goes where. All right, so those are the 3. So now I'm going to snip the first one that we did off, and this is our top row. So let's just move this guy. So you see, here's our top row that we started with. So now I'm going to grab this guy, flip him, and sew him on. So we're still kind of chain piecing. But I know that that's the first one off the machine, so I know that that's the top row, because we started at the top. So that's the way I'm kind of keeping track, because I'm cutting them off one at a time. All right, so then the next piece off is our center. Look how small. Like, I love how when we sew, the black just goes like it's sucked in, you know what I mean? Like, look at how much it got sucked in, the size of these compared to the size of these. It's just kind of fun. Especially when there's tons of pieces, like lots of tiny, tiny pieces. Then, like, our piece, when we lay it out on the table, it looks huge, but then once we start sewing, it just all gets sucked in. It's just kind of fun. All right, let's do this guy. And then our last one here to snip off is our bottom row. So let's flip that guy over. This is that one that I have no idea what's the front and back, though. I'm calling this the front. It's so gauzy. The ink, whatever they use to print it, has gone through to the other side, which is kind of cool because you could make like it'd make it like a beautiful what do they call this? Like a scarf, like one of those silk scarves. I mean, it's not silk, but it'd make a beautiful one of those just because it is the same on both sides. It would be super pretty. And it's really gauzy too. It'd be awesome for that, this fabric. All right, so here are our 3 pieces. So now I can trim them all off. Don't need this guy on anymore. Okay, so our upper left was the white, and our bottom left, or bottom right, was this other dot, and then this one just had to figure out how that would go and line up well. It was either this way or the other way. And now I don't know. I don't know again. Was it this way? I don't know. It might have been the other way. I think it might have been this way. Let's just call it this way. So this was in the bottom left, which was the white one. All right, let's press these open. I don't know if that's the way it was. I I totally forgot already for that one, but oh well. All right, so I'm gonna press these open again. So I'm just gonna first set the seam by just pressing them, and then I'm gonna open them and press each to one side, just because it's easier to press to one side to get things going. I don't know if this is what other people do, but that's what I'm doing. And then I'll go flip it around and press it open. You think it's like this? All right, I'll keep it like this. You know what? It doesn't matter as long as we still like it, then it's fine. Man, this is going quick. I think at least instead of or compared to some of the other blocks that we've done, piece blocks like this, and I think it might be because that cutting went so quickly. There was really a lot of economy to the cutting of the design as far as this block went for the cutting. All right, let's give that another press on the front. Oops, I think this one I don't have lined up very well. Make that flat on the back. All right, there we go. Okay. It's got a little wonky, but we're gonna be fine. All right, that one's like that. I think we're gonna have time. Oh, sorry guys. Yeah, I'm totally with you. I dread cutting the fabric too. That's why this one was so nice, because it went so quick. I think we'll have time to finish this center area, and then we'll call it for the night. And I'll definitely take a photo of what we got left here so I can get it all into the right spot. But let's finish pressing these. Again, I'm gonna just press it to set the seams. And then we'll open them up. Again, I'm just gonna press to one side first, and then I'll open the seams after that. You know what? We probably are getting a little speedier after doing all these blocks for these piece things. That definitely wasn't how I started with the Splendid Sampler here, I don't think. All right, let's press these guys open, and then we just have that bottom row, and then we can sew them together. So this, I will, when we sew them together, I'll use those Wonder Clips again to kind of match our seams. That worked pretty dang slick for the centerpiece. So hopefully it goes that easy again. All right, I'm going to just flip this around and give it one more good press on the front. Just making sure that these seams are flat, so I'm not crinkling them. There we go. Oops, I think this one's not quite open in the back. There we go. All right. The clips, yeah, they're kind of awesome. Oops, geez, I just flung it. I hadn't ever used them before, but so many people were talking about them, and I'm like, I'm going to see what these are all about. And I used them for binding a quilt, which I'd never done. I just didn't feel like I needed them to bind a quilt, but I bound them on a quilt that I sewed on, so I didn't hand do it. It was one that I did the machine sewing, the whole thing, and for that, it was really, really helpful. And then a couple nights ago, we used them for, instead of pins on the shell block, the shell paper piece block, and man, was that ever slick to use instead of pins. So now it's kind of, yeah, totally. Now it's kind of well, let's just use those instead of pins when I need a pin. And man, it really worked well for the center square here. So I have high hopes to continue using them instead of pins. So we'll see. Oh, Joann's didn't have them? Oh, that's too bad. They're by Clover. I think they're by Clover. So like Clover Wonder Clips. And I'll have a link in my video on Penguin and Fish movies at Amazon too. Oh, you got them there's some at Walmart. That's so funny that Walmart has a sewing area. Missouri Star Quilt has them on sale sometimes. That's good. again, I'll have a link to them if you like need them soon. But I mean, I'm playing with them. So far, I like them. Ooh, with 50% coupon, that's the way to do it. That's for sure. All right, got those seams pressed open. Let's give it one more press on the front, and we can get sewing again. We'll have just enough time to finish up this center area. Man, we got a lot done. We might even have time to work on another block tomorrow already. So it's going to be a whole pile of getting other blocks made. So let's just double check on this to see if this still looks good to us. So let's just double check. So this has 3 different ones, 3 different ones, 3 different ones, 3 different ones. Okay, good. And these, all these are different on each side. All right, I think we're fine. I think we're good to go. Great. So let's sew this together and we'll call it a night. So this, let's use the pin, or not the pins, the wonder clips again. Since I don't have my nested seams, so I'm going to eyeball these seams together so that they match. And I'm going to throw a wonder clip there, making sure that the flat side is down. All right, so there's the first one. Now let's do the second. And that looks decent. Another clip. All right. Seams matched up decent. All right, let's give it a try. Let's see if we can get this a little darker. Alrighty. So this first one I have to let go pretty quickly, but then I can get my stiletto in here to kind of hold it in place. There is some thickness to the bottom of these clips. You know, they're not perfectly flush. They, you know, got like a 32nd of an inch or so. So I gotta move them out of the way a little sooner than I would a pin. But that hasn't been too much of a problem so far. Like right now, I'm gonna move it. I'm just gonna hold it in place with the stiletto again. And we should be good. Last little bit. Having a little stiletto has definitely come in handy though. All right, a little ender. Let's see how we did. Oh, pretty dang perfect if you ask me. That's a good looking point. Man, I think these wonder clips are my new favorite thing for matching seams. These look pretty spot on. Awesome. That's exciting. That's something I definitely wouldn't have been able to do at the beginning of the Splendid Sampler. So let's sew this bottom one on. We'll do the same thing with the wonder clips, and then we'll just press it open and we'll have our center made. So again, I'm just really trying to get those seams in line. I think we're probably pretty good there. Let's give it a little tug. All right, let's throw a clip on. I mean, these clips are strong too. Like they are holding this fabric for sure. Now let's get this guy. All right, and we should be good to go, I think. Let's do it. That was easy enough. We're going to pull this one a little. It's not quite matching up at the point. All right, well, let's lose this first one. Stiletto. Man, I still find myself having to really concentrate on sewing a straight line still. That's just like the one thing that if I stop thinking about it, I'll totally just veer off into some direction. It usually happens about right there that I'll just stop thinking and then I'll veer off into like a little arc. All right, we should have it here. Let's see how we did on that one. Not bad. We veered a little bit from center. Let's get in focus a little bit. So I'm about, I don't know, less than a 32nd of an of an inch off. I don't think we're definitely in the realm of perfectly fine. So let's press it open. You gotta have something that's human in it, you know. You can't have seams perfect all the time. It just wouldn't be a handmade thing otherwise. And a smidge, not a smudge, exactly. I am not disappointed with it being off like that at all. That's for sure. I would have been lucky to get it that close at the beginning of the Splendid Sampler, I'm thinking. Alright, so I'm kind of pressing just to one side again, just to get the press going. And then I'll flip it and press it open. And then that will be it for the night. Hope you guys had a great Sunday today. I slept, like I was saying yesterday, that I slept like all day. I napped all day yesterday. But man, that paid off for me today because I feel like I got so much done. I even worked out for the first time in like over a month. And I don't know, it was such a productive day today. And I think it is totally because I just was so exhausted yesterday and I just caught up on sleep the whole day yesterday. It was pretty dismal. But I think it paid off today. I felt awesome all day today. And we got a new block, and that's always fun. Good day. All right. And it was beautiful out. Went for a long walk. Had a fancy coffee. Good stuff. Got my seams matching up pretty good. It's good. Good stuff. Alright, I'm going to flip this around just to get the front again. Make sure these seams are laying flat underneath here. There. I did burn myself. That wasn't good, but not too bad. My portrait painting class is going to start soon. I'm getting kind of revved up for that. I'm pretty excited for that. It's just good things in the works. That's always nice. Okay, let's see what we got here. So I think, how was this? Kind of like this? I think like this. So I'm going to have to definitely take a picture of this to get it right. But let's scooch things together, see if we can get a gist of what this is going to look like. This way. Oh, it's gonna be so nice. Wow, this really went quickly. Really quickly, faster than I was expecting for it to go. I'm loving this little white X that we got going on here and the blues. I'm feeling like I'm getting back into my blues realm with the quilt. I don't know, I'm feeling good about it. I like it. So we'll pretty easily finish this tomorrow. Like, we're going to have zero problem getting this done. And I think we might have time to work on other things. And you know what? I have that pieced block from a while ago that all I have to do is this last little piecing. Maybe we'll bring that out while we have the machine tomorrow and crank that guy out too. That'd be awesome. We'll get a bunch of blocks done real quick here. So, all right, guys, I'm going to flip you around and we will call it an evening. Hey there, all. So this, I feel real good about this block. I mean, here's the center area, so still really small little bits here, but I'm feeling good. I like how it turned out. We had good points in it. I really like the colors that we chose, and I like that we got so much of it done. I mean, if we had an hour more, we'd have this puppy finished. So I'm pretty stoked for tomorrow. We'll get much farther than this. So I'll take a photo of it so I remember where everything goes. And this will go up on YouTube. It should be up by tomorrow morning or really late tonight at Penguin and Fish Movies. So you can check it out there. And thanks again, guys, for joining me here every night. I just so appreciate it. And you guys are really the best. So have a fabulous night and have a great start to your week tomorrow. I will see you tomorrow. Good night.